GSL.
You keep on crying to me.
It's the final day of Code A for this week. I am Wolf. With me is Brendan. We've got two Terrans in this first group today, Group E. We'll come up a little bit later in Group F. We have Flash. So spread the word about that. I know a lot of people are watching IEM right now, as well as watching Code A. I think probably a lot of people have both tabs open. A lot of people have been tweeting saying they've been doing that. But make sure that you spread the word that Flash will be playing later.
Yeah, you guys definitely want to tune into this. This is going to be a great day. I think even more so than the past 2 days we had, which were also really good.
Yeah, they really were.
Go catch those VODs if you haven't watched them. But stay tuned in today because, of course, like you mentioned, Flash, also a lot of good players here in the first set here today.
Yeah, Cure was able to advance as a Terran player to be the second Terran to advance to Code S. So even though it says 1 down there, don't be confused. Cure is, in fact, not switching races to Protoss after he gets in. He is going to be there in the Terran roster. Looking at Protoss' advance so far, we've got a lot of them. Avenge, Parting, Myungshik, Deer, and Rain. We got 5 new Protosses going into Code S. And for Zergs, we've got Deer, G, and Dark.
Yeah, in fact, that's 8 Protosses there as well. So
yeah,
Rain,
don't get all confused.
Yeah, he got in yesterday, so goes up to
and even actually, that's only 6 Zergs. All these numbers are wrong. We're going to take a look at today's matches, though, to remind you guys who's in these groups. We're starting things off with Shine, the known cheeser, up against TY, a macro Terran who likes to play TVP. Doesn't have any Protosses in this group, however. And then Wrecking Bjall will face newcomer Sky High, someone who's been playing in basically every single Code A qualifiers. Has not qualified until now, at least to my knowledge. And someone who's played in a lot of online tournaments, but a CJ Entis player we never see fielded in Pro League.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how he does. He's kind of the dark horse in the group. I'd say probably the underdog as well. You look at these other 3 players and you're like, oh, okay, they're big names, especially Bill, TY. Even Shine himself as well did well in Code S last week.
Right. Well, I've been following,
as well.
you know, Korean esports for 4 years for StarCraft II, and I don't even know what Sky High looks like. That's like saying a lot. I don't even know what his face looks like. So when we see him, I'll get my first glimpse. I've always seen him in the Code A brackets. I usually go to every Code A qualifier, but like, you know, I never see him. I mean, I know he's in the bracket, but I'm like, who is he exactly? There's a lot of no-face
he's Sky
CJ
High, man.
players.
You can't see him. He's in the clouds.
He's in the clouds, dude. Before we get that, we're going to be on the cloud map, Nimbus, and it's going to be Shine versus TY here. Now, Shine last season was able to not only qualify for Code S, but beat Flash in the process. TY, a teammate of Flash, a very similar style to Flash, could be seen in similar games. In his maps against Flash, he cheesed twice, but did beat Flash in Game 3 in the final match with a macro game. We played late game TVZ.
This guy is on the front page of knowncheesers.gov.
Yeah.
The link, you can find it in the sidebar of artosis.com. He is definitely going to tease, I'd say, at least one of these games.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Couldn't even be on this map. Anything is possible. This is the GSL Code A, one of the most difficult tournaments in the world that feeds into Code S, the most prestigious StarCraft II tournament to date.
Down here in the bottom left, in the teal, the Zerg player is
Samsung Galaxy Khan Shine.
Face of a known cheeser. He'll six-pull your mom.
Look at him.
And up here to the top right, in red,
KT roster TY.
TY never really having a Code S run. He's had several attempts, but never really living up to some of the other Terrans we've had. Doing better than Flash, on the other hand, in most cases.
Yeah. What do you think out of this group? Do you think he has a chance to get out?
Yeah, I think he will, actually. He's had a lot of time to repair. I feel like TY's real skill is in best of ones. It's similar to Flash. You know, when he has a lot of time to prepare for one specific opponent, even in the best of series, it does well. In a group stage, I feel like it's not really his strong suit, but with these opponents, I actually think he can get out today. Only time will tell, but yeah. I'm feeling his chances here. I don't think really, I really have to wait and see how Sky High does. If he actually does really well, then I have no idea, but if Sky High is just, you know, not quite ready yet, then I feel like it's going to be TY and BL getting out today.
If he plays a couple of turn games, you know.
Yeah. If he's really nervous, I mean, it's his first televised match, you know, in a studio, to my knowledge. Because if he had played any other broadcasted matches, I probably would have been casting them because I pretty much cast everything. If it's not me, it's a Code S, which I'm watching. And I'm casting Code S basically half the time anyways, so I can't follow every online tournament. I know this guy's obviously good. I mean, the big story here is, well, I mean, he qualified for Code A, so he's obviously good.
Yeah. Anyone who makes it through those brutal qualifiers, like, you look at Marine King, a guy who made it to the finals. I think he got knocked out by Avenge, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe so. Looking at that, we looked at that a few days ago. Yeah. I think you're right.
A guy like that who's not even able to make it to Code A, who has had a significant effect on like Prime's winning in Pro League. So you look at that one guy even, and you're like, wow, it's a very hard qualifier.
So what's really interesting about this map is it really actually suits Shine's style. The reason is because it's very, very difficult to take a 4th base, and Shine's not really into that. He's not really a guy who takes 4th bases all too often. He can take his natural for free here. Get those lings out, get those queens out. It's going to kill this SUV scout, or at least deny him. Probably will go down eventually. And take a 3rd base fairly safely. The 4th is really tough to take, but on a map like this, the Zerg generally is going to have to be aggressive on 3 bases to secure a 4th, to keep the Terran kind of on the defensive. And that's exactly what Shine does best.
So the Zerglings drawn out here by that SCV actually are going to be kited down by these by this Reaper.
Yeah.
Should be able to get 3 kills here actually on those Zerglings.
Really nicely done. Saves the SCV. Eliminates most of those links and actually can poke over here, check the gases. He's going to have to get out of here. He can't check if there's gas at the natural.
Oh.
Barely gets out with 1 health, but there are gases at the natural, which is very smart by Shine because he knows TY can't really get in there and see that without sacrificing his Reaper.
Yeah. 2 gases, in fact.
Yeah, and this is very Shine-like again. Just hiding gases, probably do something aggressive. Could be 2 base mutas, could be a roach push. It's cross spawns, though, so not going to be as easy to pull that off.
Yeah.
We do have 2 Hellions building and a starport. All is well, all is normal back at TY's base.
Yeah, pretty standard for him.
Oh, he lost an Overlord as well. Marines on the hunt. Another Ling goes down. TY looking solid. 2 Widowmines now as well. Usually don't see Widowmines this early in this matchup. Probably going to be for a drop to the natural, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can say that, especially because of the way the natural is laid out. There's a lot of airspace behind that mineral line, so you can just go in, boost in, and just drop those Widowmines in, and if your opponent's caught unaware, could definitely do some damage or at least delay some mining time.
Yeah, and he's actually got a large amount of units coming over here. He's even going to catch another Overlord of Shine. He just popped another one out, so he's going to be okay. But he will need to make 1 more now to make any additional units. He is going 2 base layer with speed. He's making a Spine Claw right now defensively. And I feel like TY's kind of read him. He's like, you know what, I know you're not going to take a 3rd base. And if you were thinking about it, I'm going to be aggressive first. Spore Crawlers are going up right now in case of drops and possible Banshee attacks. Notice he's got that Reaper on patrol outside the ramp. We'll see a 2 Widowmine, 4 Marine drop. And with no big units to deal with this, the 2 Widowmines could deal with a small number of Zerglings very easily, and then the Marines can clean up most everything else.
Yeah. And we just saw the tech of Shiny is going into 2 base lair with Muta tech. Looks like with the Spire coming down. So 2 Widowmines are dropped in here, but the drones are pulled. But again, the Marines here with the Widowmine support should be able to start doing some damage.
Yeah, stopping a lot of mining time here, killing a Queen, and here come Hellions right in the front door. And so many drones stacked up here to die. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow. And it's not cleaned up yet. There are slowlings right now. Not able to catch up to these Hellions. And they continue getting kills. Up to 28 right now. 29. This is doing too much damage.
This is an insane amount of damage. So keep in mind, the Widowmines over there have been cleaned up. The Spore Crawler was pretty handy in that regard. And also with those 3 Queens and the Spore, the Banshee struggles to get damage done. But still, Shine losing so many work. He's now down to 19 against TY, who's got a 3rd command center on the way. Already has 2 up and running with double mules. His economy is twice as good as Shine's right now, minerals per minute income-wise. And Shine even has to pull out a gas here because he got 400 gas he wants to make mutas with, but he doesn't have minerals to support that even. He's heavily droning because he needs to, but this game may be already lost.
Yeah. Here's a follow-up with the Banshee. It's going to come in there. He does have that Spore Crawler still. But again, it's not going to cover the entire expanse of that expansion. And the Banshee going to be able to pick out some of those drones in the gas, maybe? Not sure where he's going.
Maybe wants to check for a hidden third or something. I mean, he's going to just have to hide over there. I think he also saw the Spire, so doesn't want the Banshee to get picked off by Mutalisk. He's probably just going to send it back in there later, try to pick off some gas drones, because like you said, the Spore Crawler can't cover everything. 1-1 upgrade is going to be started here for TY. He's just kind of moving around this watchtower. Wants to keep checking for third bases. You know, he sees the third is not hidden up to the north or anything like that with the Banshee. And you can reasonably assume there's no third base down to the south, but he's just going to go and check anyways. Denies a tumor, almost gets a second one. Could suicide a Hellion for it, but I don't think it's worth it.
Here are the Mutas on the hunt, but the Banshee well hidden. Over there to the left.
Yeah. Smartly done.
Hanging out with whatever that thing is, fixing the Nimbus map.
Yeah, that's like a weird new doodad that we have.
He looks pretty cool.
It's cool. Wow. Talk about a lot of energy not used.
Wow, much energy.
Such tumors. Very
Wow.
spread. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot of creep spread really fast, suddenly. You know, it's not really bad macro out of Shine. I feel personally that it's more of just an issue of those Hellions that were constantly harassing that they couldn't really do this until now.
Yeah.
Years are out. So, turret here with some decent coverage. He does pick off one SCV building the refinery. But out of the Vikings over there, it's even more difficult to actually zone. He's got several Vikings, in fact. Pardon me.
Even getting a bunch more of those Overlords, and it's going to supply block Shine once again. He's got to make 2 Overlords here.
And the economy with the third base now for TY is booming. All he has to do really is just get up a large Marine force, and he's going to be able to crush Shine. Just too much damage done in the early game. So
Combat Shields just started.
Yeah.
As our observer does show us.
That's a bit late.
Yeah.
All things considered, I guess he was focused on the drop early on, though. So there's a big lane counterattack force set up at the third, but it is spotted. No units over here just yet, though. He's gonna have to send something back. Perhaps waiting for Banelings could have been more effective here. His Baneling nest wasn't ready yet. Drop was spotted by the Lings as well, but I don't know if these Mulas will actually intercept it in time. 1-1 upgrades are done. Hellions are going to spot the Mulas, so you should be able to drop out at least and kill some of the Mulas, trade with them. And there's those Banelings I was talking about.
Yeah, those Banelings are really menacing. These Mutas are right in positioning to catch this medevac. He's got to be really careful. He catches it. He's got to boost away and drop out those Marines, and he does so.
Yeah.
But it's enough Mutas there to clean it up pretty much.
Yeah, one at a time, then dropping out like that. He gets one Muta. Here's that really thick grease where we saw earlier. There's a Baneling run by. Yeah, I think this would have been much more effective earlier, but still gets the damage done. The scarier part, though, is this attack here. I just don't think he has enough units to deal with this. There's Widow Mines and a concave of Marines outside of his ramp. He hasn't destroyed those rocks yet, so coming down that ramp is going to be even more difficult. He's actually going to stim and focus on this hatchery, and then once it's dead, all he has to do is deal with these Banelings. Could actually just lift up and leave. Oh, God, the Baneling shots there on those Widow Mines.
Yep. Doesn't even have to pick up and leave. That Spinecrawler does burrow, but nice splits here on the creep. I think he should be totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, the Mulas will actually clean this up, I think, but the next wave is death. It's like the final chop to cut off the head here. I mean, that base is down. The Widowmine gets a shot off on the drones. And Vikings here just stalling. And, I mean, he gets a Viking for a Muta. But the push still commences. He's got a grand total of 0 Banelings, 6 on the way. And this Banshee's going to help zone those out as well as these Widow Mines. There's additional reinforcing Widow Mines. He's got 2 Widow Mines now active. And he's just going to start attacking these. Banshee focusing as well. And the Widow Mine in the low ground.
Look at that positioning on the low ground as well. GG.
TY dominates game number 1. Not even a close one.
Yeah. Made it look pretty easy. We saw Shine. He set up a wall at the front of some sort with the Spinecrawler and some Queens, but it seemed like somehow the Hellions were able to get in.
Yeah, I don't think it was tight. Even with the Spine there, with that many Hellions just kept sneaking by. And there wasn't anything to finish them off. Like, they kept taking Spine and Queen damage on the way to the mineral line, but once they got there was no answer.
Yeah, there were like 5 slowlings, I think, on the main base, and that was about it. So he wasn't prepared for it at all. It was a nice 2-pronged harass, and it just killed him.
Is it Deadwing? No, Overgrowth. So Shine's going to play on a 2-player map here, a map he's been known to actually play kind of straight up on if he doesn't do roach pushes. Yeah. He can actually sometimes just play Ling Muta Baneling off 3 hatch. He's a known cheese, but this means he can play straight up from time to time.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see that long, drawn-out game out of these two players, actually. That one that we just saw, he kind of just died to harass, but I want to see a straight-up one.
Yeah, same here. That would be more exciting to me. The map is loading. TY 1 win away from jumping to the winners match. Shine wants to tie it up and force game number 3 on TY's map pick. This is the GSL Code A, hosted here in Seoul, South Korea. The best players in the world fighting. Find out who's going to go to Code S.